afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a Nintendo Direct prediction stream. I'm currently joined by me, myself, and I. It's going to be a solo stream, unless we have Reese, Riders DX, or T&D join at any point. More than welcome. But yeah, we are going to have a fun time predicting the Nintendo Direct. We haven't had one since April, so needless to say, things have been crazy. And I've officially become brain-rotted. So, that is fun. Tung Tung Sahur! Yeah, let's go. So let's begin with some Kirby, because until tomorrow, we don't really have that many Nintendo Switch 2 games. I did 100% Bonanza, I'd love to play more of that, but Kirby's new, so you gotta go with Kirby. We gotta go with Kirby, we must. Otherwise, Kirby will go into the house and eat all my orange cupcakes. So let's begin. Yeah, despite me clearly not liking Super Mario Bros. Wonder, I think that Generic Russ Kablooey 2, thank you for the first super chat. Thank you so much. I would love Kablooey 2, but believe it or not, it actually exists. It's called Charlie Blast Territory. And the protagonist isn't... Actually, I have the figure. The protagonist isn't... Oh no, his arm's falling off. It's not this blue guy. It's a fat construction worker named Charlie. So we're gonna try and 100% the Starcross world thing. This is an interesting game. I will say it's interesting because I really enjoy it because it's more Forgotten Land, but the thing is, it just doesn't feel like it has enough going for it. It's just too short. Must, like Sir Musty. Ah yes, Sir Musty's been brain-rotted too. I don't think that's a realistic expectation for Pac-Man World 3 repack. We haven't even gotten 2, so I'd give it a few years. It took 3 years to get Pac-Man World Repack 2, so if the cycle continues, we can expect Pac-Man World 2 repack in 2028. Mario Maker 3 would be something I would love to see. You know, considering that we have the mouse controls now, it'd be a lot better than it was on the Nintendo Switch. I didn't really have a problem with the Switch for making levels. I just took it out of the dock and then did it that way. That was about it. So yeah. Trying to find that damn fourth red crystal. Soy sauce! Good to see you! I usually do these streams like later in the day, but I got plans tonight. Okay, we had some technical difficulties there, but things seem to be a little better now. It just can't Kirby. Technical difficulties. So let's see, can you guys see the stream? It should be fixed now. Hey, Demetrio Crocodilo! Have you seen the new Mario movie trademark? I have. I sure have seen it. Yeah, I'm gonna give my unpopular opinion, but that's what you guys know me for, so I don't give a damn. If the big announcement at the end is just a trailer for the Super Mario Bros. Movie 2, I'm gonna be disappointed because, first of all, that's a movie, and the thing is, I come to Nintendo for games, I don't come to them for freaking movies. I enjoyed the Super Mario Bros. Movie, but you watch it once, you're done. I feel like games have a lot more experience. I appreciate the donation, thank you very much, fan of Yoshi. So it seems... Yeah, I gotta get better Wi-Fi. But either way, I will say that I hope that the big announcement at the end is an actual game. Ideally, I'd like a new 3D Mario game, but we don't always get what we want, so... I'd also take Luigi's Mansion 4... I'm kind of a fan of Animal Crossing, although I'm definitely more of a Mario fan. Jeff Grubb has been dethroned as the best Nintendo insider. Thank you, Generic Rust, for the donation. That is super kind of you. Yes, if you told me that Switch Force would become a Nintendo insider, like back in 2022, I would not believe you. But hats off to him. He was right. He was right about everything. So let's see. Now that the technical difficulties are gone, I can just enjoy Kirby. Yeah, I agree. I think they should have, like, a separate direct for the movie because there's a lot more to talk about. Although I will say, if that's a big announcement, they better have at least one Seth Rogen laugh. Then it'd be worth it. This is not my first playthrough of Starcross Worlds. I actually did beat the game. I played through it during PAX West. It's a very short game, but right now I'm trying to 100% it. Oh yeah, there's no question they're going to talk about the Mario movie. I'm just hoping that that's not the final announcement because the Nintendo Switch 2 is a brand new system. We still don't have that many games. They need to announce something big. We already know about the movie. So I'm okay if they discuss it, absolutely. I just don't want it to be the big finale. What if Yoshi's voice was super deep and soothing? Like he sounded like this. Mamma mia, I'm Yoshi. Or he could just sound like Reese. Matt Damon as Yoshi and Christopher Walken as Bowser Jr. Matt Damon as Yoshi would be hilarious. Bay boy, good to see ya. I'm trying to find this red crystal. They're really well hidden. That's the thing about Kirby and the Forgotten Land. They always give you objectives that are an absolute pain to find sometimes. But hey, I'm always for more replay value. I mean, Yoshi needs to talk. I really hope that he... J to the P. Moreno, if you want that, just watch an episode of Max and Ruby. The rest of us want Yoshi to have full dialogue. Owen from Total Drama as Yoshi. There, that'd be peak. Yeah, but Tybalt and Pinocchio, A True Story talks. After Donkey Kong Bonanza and this Switch 2 edition, what were your top 5 Switch 2 games of this year? Everyone who's a fan of Pinocchio, A True Story like I am. What the hell? Whoopi Goldberg as Yoshi? What? Who came up with that? Favorites ever. Alright, so I am doing the Donkey Kong Bonanza review. I will admit, just July and August were pretty crappy months. Just like, there's a lot going on that wasn't in my control, and it was just a lot of crap to deal with. So I wanted to review it in July, but I'm going to review it hopefully this month. Bonanza is my favorite game of all time, then followed by Super Mario Odyssey. Man, choosing the other three is hard. Pikmin 4 is definitely up there. Possibly Kirby and the Forgotten Land? Man, it's so hard choosing a favorite game. But Bonanza, that's not hard. That's literally my favorite. Oh, we can always add those brain rot games. I love the brain rot games. That's all I live for. Skibidi Meech! Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep my review spoiler-free, and then I'm going to have a spoiler discussion with T&D and Uncle Al after. But I think at this point, a lot of people know what the spoilers are. I do wonder what Mario characters will be in the Mario movie, too. I'm more of a Toon Sahur fan than a Skibidi Toilet fan. Would you guys like to hear about how I discovered brain rot? Because it's a pretty funny story. The voice actor? Oh, he played Diddy Kong and the cat from Little Bear. Okay, it all started one night at 3 a.m. when I was scrolling through YouTube, and then I see this brain rot stuff, and I'm like, what the hell is this? So then I watch it, and it's like some evolution of Toon Sahur. No, actually, here's what it was. It was a meme or some TikTok or something. Or like, what are my cousins watching? And they were watching the evolution of Toon Sahur. So I'm like, okay, what is this? I gotta see this. And ever since then, I found it so funny. And just so hilarious. And I know it's like slop, but come on. It's the funniest form of slop. So that's how it all started. Glad you liked it, Soy Sauce. I'm glad you enjoyed the panel. We had a lot of fun doing it. So with that panel, that was the first I ever took a lead on. I've been a part of panels before, but it was stressful, but it turned out great. And I gotta thank AquaTwist, the Collective Gaming, and hesitantly Riders DX for making the panel what it was. AI can be scary, but for the slop, I mean, other than the addictive nature of it, then it's not that scary. But if you're worried about it being sentient, I don't think we'll ever get to that point. AquaTwist did the presentation. He did the whole slides. He also played Tails. We also had Riders DX do the promotional video. It was a big team effort. Why didn't I get group set good in college? Oh my gosh, the Street Pass panel. I still laugh about that to this day. I was showing my girlfriend that panel, and we couldn't stop laughing. I don't think we ever laughed as hard as we did after watching that panel. And the stories from it. It's just like, that's what every Nintendo YouTuber needs to do. They need to have that be an initiation. Yeah, Plain Rock's part was comedy gold. I knew what was happening, so I knew that the 3DS was a 4 parts one, but at the same time, the audience reaction... I gave him the idea to, like, snap it in half and then put it back together with a smushed orange cupcake. But he's like, no, I'm not doing that stupid orange cupcake thing. It's gonna make a mess. So that didn't happen, but we did give out smushed orange cupcakes, but they're actually not smushed at the panel. Man, that was a really stupid story. But hey, my life is unhinged. You know what else is unhinged? Trying to find that red crystal. Let's see how many I have. Oh, doesn't he? Oh yeah, 3 out of 5. That was my sister Maria, not Sophia. But that would be a good stream, going back to the springs where the group of friends were throwing peanut butter at each other. AquaTwist went through the initiation. Kunai, you're coping? The best way to cope is just do this. It's a coping mechanism. I sure as hell... Well, you're getting it. Petey's lines are here. We also got a voice for Tung Sahur. So yeah, it's coming whether you like it or not. The story, oh, the What Up story. I'll be more than happy to tell that. I was working at Dairy Queen, and it was my second day there. And what happened is, these 3 guys just went into the bathroom and said, "What up?" And I thought that they were going to wad up toilet paper and vandalize the place. So I was like to my boss, hey, these guys said "what up" going into the bathroom. He's like, oh, yeah. Well, if anything happens, just let me know. And I just thought it was weird. It's Lemmy, not Lenny. Who else has gotten stung by Big Lenny and lived? Oh, Tung Sahur. I'm assuming so. To be real with you, I definitely go into Nintendo Directs looking for games that are Nintendo games. Not really third party so much unless it's like a Nintendo game. Like, I like my cereal box games. I love my games like Pac-Man World 2 Repack. I love Spyro the Dragon, Crash Bandicoot. Also indies like Anton Blast, Pizza Tower. Just, if it feels like Nintendo, I'm probably going to be a fan of it. But my tastes in gaming are, like, more broad now. Like, I was playing Xenoblade Chronicles X earlier this year. I'm just waiting for that Switch 2 version to have that buttery smooth 60 frames per second. It's so hard going back to 30 frames per second. I will say there is a clear difference between 30 frames per second and 60 frames per second. If it's a high pace or, like, a lot of action, fast-paced game, like Kirby and the Forgotten Land, for example, that is a game that I feel like was detrimented by 30 frames per second, albeit not that much, but it still was noticeable. But at 60 frames now, that's no longer a problem. Oh yeah, my favorite game is The Last of Us Part 2. 30, it just depends, because Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, the remake's 30 frames, but the thing is, I don't really see an issue with it. It's not a big deal there, because what you're doing, it's not like extremely fast-paced or anything like that. But then when you get into something like, I'll even say Kirby Star Allies, I think that it's like a detriment. I don't know why Kirby Star Allies couldn't run at 60 frames. I understand why this game didn't. But Kirby Star Allies, what? Yeah, I've seen the comparisons to Astrobot and Bonanza, but Bonanza's definitely more of its own thing. I'm probably going to dress up as Bonanza DK for Halloween this year. That's your opinion, Soy Sauce. I respect your opinion. But at the same time, I think that Star Allies is mediocre at best, boring at worst. And the last thing a game should be is boring. I really hope that this is the last crystal that I need. Well, I'm at a checkpoint. No, I don't think it's too early for Mario Kart World DLC. I think we need Mario Kart World DLC. I have no idea what Nintendo is doing. Me and a friend are gonna go as Wisha and Fasul. Well, good luck with that. They're not even in existence yet. Now, that's a good question, Rampin. I got to play Metroid Prime 4 Beyond at 120 frames per second at the Nintendo Switch 2 experience, and while it is smoother, it's not like night and day. It's not like going from 60 frames to 30 frames where it's pretty much unplayable. It's just slightly nicer. A good way to test it out is if you have, like, a Samsung phone or something, just enable the high refresh rate, and when you're swiping, it's, like, instantaneous. That's kind of what it's like. But personally, it's not a huge deal. 60 frames per second is still good, but 30 is not. Speaking of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, I'm fairly certain that that game is going to get delayed. I just feel like, when would they release it? Like, we got Kirby coming up in November, we got Zaza in October. So that could leave Metroid either to release in November or something like that, or October. But then you have other games. It's not a good situation. The whole Metroid Prime 4 situation was not good. Got him! Sony will never acquire Nintendo. No one will ever acquire Nintendo. I like 2D Metroid too. I think I am more of a 2D Metroid guy than a 3D Metroid guy. But I like both. I'm definitely more of a 3D Mario guy than a 2D Mario game. Give me 1 second. I'm on my phone during the stream. Sir Musty's gonna scream at me. Oh no! See, the thing with Mario Wonder is it's not a very good game. Because Yoshi is in easy mode. Yeah. It's possible for them to have, like, multiple games, but I feel like Nintendo, they like to have, like, 1 month per game. 2017 was, like, the model for what Nintendo should do for every new console. Although, I will say, I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I prefer what Nintendo is doing with the game lineup for the Nintendo Switch 2. Like, if you look at the Nintendo Switch games in 2017, they were very predictable. Like, of course a 3D Mario game would stir up, like, a lot of hype. Of course a new Zelda game would do that. And yeah, it was a Wii U game, but at the same time, even I consider it a Nintendo Switch game. And then you had stuff like Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You had Xenoblade Chronicles 2. ARMS, I think, was actually a really cool idea for a new IP, even if it wasn't, like, as fleshed out as it could be. So that's what you call, like, an ideal first year, but I like how risky Nintendo is this year. Like, instead of starting off with a big 3D Mario, it's DK instead. I think that's even better. I honestly think that having Donkey Kong Bonanza, it really just pushed DK back into the spotlight, and it's an amazing game. It's just incredible. I love everything about Donkey Kong Bonanza. And then with Mario Kart World, yes, it's launching with a Mario Kart game, which is a first for a Nintendo console, but at the same time, it's a very different kind of Mario Kart. There's no other Mario Kart game like Mario Kart World. Yes, I can play to its detriment, but at the same time, I'm glad Nintendo took the risk. I'm sure that at some point they could do a Mario Kart 9 that's pretty much very similar to 8 Deluxe, where it's just a bunch of new tracks, characters, stuff like that. They could do the Smash Ultimate route where they have everything. But honestly, it's funny because the longer time passes since Mario Kart World, the more I appreciate it. I think it needs DLC. Really, my main problem with it isn't the pathways, it's just the lack of tracks. You mean overhated? Because I don't feel like Mario Kart World's overrated at all. It's got quite a polarizing rep. We gotta make the flowers bloom. This kind of reminds me of how everything was chrome in the future on SpongeBob. Although, speaking of a new 3D Mario game, I think it would be wise if Nintendo just had like a teaser, even if it's a year out. Yes, the wait would be agonizing, but knowing about it is a good move for us fans in a business perspective. So I think that would be a good idea, although considering Bonanza just happened, I'm not sure how likely it is. I don't think that they would wait too long, for them to release a new Mario game after a new Donkey Kong game. They're different series. They're the same developers, but I'm sure they have a different team. It's not like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where they were gonna make Mario Kart World for the original Switch, but the technical limitations prevented them from doing that. I think that they do need a new 3D Mario game, but in terms of Donkey Kong Bonanza, I mean, it's better than any 3D Mario game. Even if we don't get a 3D Mario game until a year later, just enjoy Bonanza. I'm on my second playthrough and I'm still having a blast. I'm sure Nintendo will do some stupid thing where they do something for the 40th anniversary and it's time limited. I could understand it being like a physical product. Nice talking to you, Soy Sauce. The ultimate pretendo. I think that it's done for Jamboree. Like, they did it with the expansion, but it just didn't work out, so I just say wait for the next Mario Party. I sure am having a bramble blast. The problem with this year for the Nintendo Switch 2, and this is really unfortunate, consumers like what they know. It's why the Pokemon games sell so well despite them being a heaping pile of porta party garbage. But the thing is, as cool as it is having things like Kirby Air Riders, it doesn't have that mass appeal like something like a 3D Mario game would have, or even Pokemon to an extent. Although with Pokemon, I think it's a little bit different because that's going to be on the original Switch. And a lot of Pokemon fans will just get a Switch for Pokemon and that's it. They don't care anything about performance. They literally don't care. Like, I've talked to people who only play Pokemon games on the Switch and I asked what they thought of the graphics. Oh, I think they look nice. It's a completely different demographic. It's a different world. So I don't think that anyone will be inclined to get Zaza on the Switch 2 outside of, like, the hardcore fans. See, I actually have an answer to that question because I played Zaza. So, right now, I don't want to spoil too much because I'm doing a first impressions video about it, but I will say this. It is a step above Pokemon Scarlet, but I'm not going to use that as points in its favor because that's not saying anything. I think the new battle system has potential. I think real-time combat works well for Pokemon. However, the game still visually looks appalling. Legends Arceus, I don't know what people were talking about saying that the game visually looked like crap. I think that it could have looked better for sure. Definitely could have benefited from more polish, but it had a competent art style. Zaza is Lumio City Scarlet and Violet, and it looks terrible. I played the Switch 2 version. I'm pretty sure that the Nintendo Switch version might run worse than Pokemon Scarlet and Violet did. But it's not going to be as big of a problem because a lot of people will be playing it on the Nintendo Switch too. Maybe that's Nintendo's secret incentive to like really sell the system. So, I thought that it had some potential, but I'm not expecting it to be good. It'd be cool if it was, but I've liked too many other games to harp on it. I'm definitely doing the first impression since I played it early, but honestly, when it comes to a review, unless it does something so mind-blowingly good or mind-blowingly bad that we haven't seen before, I've said my piece on Pokemon. It'd be cool if they did more with Legends Arceus. I think they're kind of done with that, though. Game key cards, because at least with the limited release date, like with Super Mario 3D All-Stars, if you wanted to get it, you could get it for quite some time. It still sucks. It's not a good thing. But at the same time, with a game key card, there's pretty much no solution. Although I'm very hopeful that game key cards will become a thing of the past. Yeah, I really wanted to get into Legends Arceus, but then they announced Scarlet and Violet a month after. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just wait for that. Boy, was I mistaken. I think really the only Pokemon games on the Switch that resonated with me are, oddly enough, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, and then we had new Pokemon Snap. A Pikachu platform... Didn't they kind of try that with Pokemon Dash? How am I supposed to get this? Or actually, yeah, how am I supposed to get that? Oh, never mind crystals. Checks out. Roy's our boy! Soshi, I just told the audience about my newly acquired Roy Koopa Experience membership, and I'm a proud member. And this guy right here, he hasn't bought Mario Kart World because Roy Koopa isn't in it. Hey, at least he sticks to his word. Soshi's a true Chad. Although, maybe tomorrow, just maybe, Roy Koopa will be in Mario Kart World. New Pokemon Snap's such a chill game. It's super relaxing. All toasters toast toast. Toast with Vegemite sounds so good right now. Yeah, Pokemon struck me with that copyright before. It was after it was a June Direct in 2023. And it was like, I think there was some Ed Sheeran song or some stupid thing like that. And ever since then, I've been kind of wary about Pokemon footage. But to combat it, I just used footage of Mario's missing, so there you go. Marmite and Vegemite are pretty much the same thing. Although I think Vegemite's better. See, I don't mind eating Vegemite. I enjoy Vegemite. I also enjoy Balut. I should probably make some food videos. Alright. I might have to wrap up the stream soon. But I definitely want to do a few more Nintendo Direct predictions. Oh! Thomas! Good to see ya! How are you not a moderator? I mean, I have a soft spot for Larry Koopa because he was the first character I played as in Mario Kart 8. No, Roy isn't my direct bingo card. I can't say it because Jato the P. Moreno's here. But I'm pretty sure that the Mario Kart characters are going to be Bonanza related. That's all I'll say. I like all the Koopalings. I really do. I feel like just because they were overused, it doesn't mean they're bad characters. It's like if you eat your favorite food all the time. Eventually you get tired of it, but then you'd want to go back. Why not both? Larry the Koopa and Larry Lobster. Larry, Pearl, Mr. Krabs, and Plankton. Would that be 8 Granddad or 7 Granddad 2? I just call it Super Wonderful Mario 7, 1998. The Adventure of Time and Space. Soshi, I just say, as the Roy Koopa experience, we should just all go to a convention, and then after the convention, we just drive into a Walmart parking lot with a megaphone screaming, "Respect the Koopalings! Respect the Koopalings!" I don't really see Nintendo doing that much DLC for their single-player games. Mario Kart World, I think, is almost guaranteed. However, for Bonanza, it'd be really cool. I'd love to see it. If anything, just like a small update like Luigi's Balloon World and Super Mario Odyssey. Starries. Makes me miss Sierra Mist. I would love a full-on remake. You know what? You know what? If we're gonna wait a little longer for a new 3D Mario game, I think that would be the perfect way to hold us over. Galaxy 2 is one of the best 3D Mario games, and I'll die on the hill saying that Super Mario Galaxy 2 is better than Super Mario Galaxy. It has better gameplay, it has better level design, more creative themes, Yoshi, better power-ups, Lubba. The only thing you're missing is Rosalina's storybook, which, yeah, that's a big omission, but at the same time, I'll take gameplay any day over some lore. But Kirby has both. Should we have Seth Rogen voice Donkey Kong from now on? I don't think that Nintendo will ever do sequels to 3D Mario games unless there's like completely new leadership. A Demeet Brainrot simulator if the direct's closer. Tung 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 sahur. Yeah, I gotta go into a different store in the mall. Would my Brainrot game be focus tested? Galaxy 2, man, it's just like... I beat the game in 2023, and it's just a magical experience. I know everyone says Galaxy 1's the more magical experience, but I find 2 to be that. I might want to make a video sometime about why I feel so strongly that Galaxy 2 is better than Galaxy 1. I do not. It's been almost a decade, so I'll just say it anyway. Yoshi's implementation in Super Mario Odyssey, I wish it was like more frequent. He had such a cool ability, it's just like, it was only reserved for the post-game. A 3D Mario game's always going to be better when you have Yoshi. It's like adding salsa to peanut butter. You can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. At all. Let's get more of those super chats coming. Never tried that. I feel like everyone would lose it if that happened, but for 3D Mario, if they're gonna do something, I think it's gonna be totally new. The only time they didn't do something like completely new was 3D World, and then Super Mario 64 DS was a remake, but those were an anomaly, those weren't the exceptions. Or those weren't the rule, those were the exceptions. I'm just hoping that we get some, like, cool Mario stuff regardless. Even if it's not a 3D Mario game, I'd love to see, like, Super Mario Maker 3, that would be amazing. I'd like to see some cool spin-offs. Maybe this is a time for an American football Mario game. That is something that'd be super cool. I want them to just do a spin-off for Mario, like they did with Mario and Rabbids, where it's completely new, it's totally original, and it's like a defining game of the Nintendo Switch, too. Sequels are cool and everything, but I feel like we haven't really gotten, like, an insane new Mario spin-off since Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. The mainline games and a lot of the spin-offs have been great, but I kind of want a new series. Actually, we did get Princess Peach Showtime, but the fact that I forgot about it like that, yeah, that goes to show that that game was a bit too basic game design-wise. It's a very creative game, had a lot going for it in that regard, but just playing the game itself, it just had no depth. Super Princess Peach for life, man. Yeah, I think that at this rate, they're not going to do something like Super Mario 3D World. They're not going to go the linear route. They're going to pretty much go open world. They're going to go big. They're going to go insane with the next 3D Mario game. They should have a Mario dating sim. Just have a Francis game at that point. Who? Who's that? Let's see if there are any treasures I missed here. I think that after Brothership, I think that was like the grand finale of like the Mario RPG overload. So I think we might get some Switch 2 editions. I heard that in the code for Thousand Year Door on the Switch, there's 60 frames. What if just all the Mario games got Nintendo Switch 2 editions? Like, we could have a new campaign for Wonder and 120 frames per second. That'd be super cool. Then just performance upgrades for any of the Mario games that are at 30 frames per second. I know it's Ubisoft, but I'm wearing my Mario and Rabbids hat for a reason. I'm hoping that that game gets a performance upgrade. It performs well enough, but at the same time, I've been addicted to that 60 frames per second. Having like a full story of Luigi's experience in the Waffle Kingdom, that would be great. I don't know what Intelligent Systems will be working on other than a new Fire Emblem and maybe a new WarioWare. Actually, they could do a new WarioWare. Those games don't seem like they take too long to make. It was only 2 years between Move It and Get It Together, so it is a possibility. My prediction is that it'll be called WarioWare Clicked, and it takes full advantage of the mouse controls. And then just some things like frame rate, 4K. A new Captain Toad would be great. Maybe that could break the curse. I've noticed a pattern with Nintendo games that we're getting sequels of 2014 games. We finally got a new Mario Kart. We're finally getting Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. We got a new Donkey Kong. Captain Toad's next. These stories are hidden very well. They really want you to replay this game. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna relax for now. I'll read some more comments and then I have to go. Mario Pac-Man betrayed us? I think that it could, but there's also like some dual screen. No, not really dual screen. But I already cleared that cracked wall earlier. It could, but it would be... They need to work around it. I'd prefer they just make a new WarioWare game. I haven't really played that many indies on the Switch 2 yet. From what I've heard, developers have had a hard time getting dev kits and stuff. But anyways, guys, I'm excited for the big one. The Nintendo Direct that's an hour long. That is going to be the longest Nintendo Direct we've ever had outside of a console reveal. So it could mean one of two things. One, there's a lot of information and it's a mix between a general Direct and a Mario 40th Direct. Or it's 15 minutes of new games and then the rest is talking about Donkey Kong's facial expressions. Although considering Bonanza, they have every right to do that now. My hat's off to Nintendo and Donkey Kong's new design. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great night and see you tomorrow for the Nintendo Direct!